This conference will now be recorded.
Macros kada. We are into macros, right? Yesterday we have covered up to here, right? Percentage local, percentage global, correct. So now, uh, okay, मेरे next topic क्या था? Next class with macros. Concatenation using set statement happen point equal to slice happen now na? Next, concatenation with multiple set statements. Concatenation with multiple set statements. Concatenation with multiple set statements. It combines observations from two or more SAS data sets. It combines observations from two or more SAS data sets into one observation using two or more set statements. Using two or more set statements. Using two or more set statements. The new dataset contains all the variables from all input datasets. The new dataset contains all the variables from all input datasets. Uh, uh, uh. So you are writing your set statement multiple times. You are writing your set statement multiple times. What happens if you are writing your set statement multiple times? How it will work? I'll show you. So this concept we will never use in a real-time scenarios, but in one of the interviews people asked. In one of the interviews people asked. So I added this topic. So what happens if you're writing multiple times set statement? Right. So here also we have different cases. Suppose to case number one, both data sets has same variables and same number of observations. Both the data sets has same variables and same number of observations. You can see here the number of observations in new data set. The number of observations in new data set is number of observations from second data set. If there are variables are same from both the data sets. Okay, so you see here the number of observations in new data set is equal to number of observations from second data set, provided if the variables are same for both the data sets. For example, I have a data set DS1, I have a data set DS2. So I'll show you an Excel file. Let us assume this is my data. I have two data sets. Both the data sets are same variable, same number of observations. Okay, so now I create a data set data ds3, set ds1, set ds2, run. So if it is with respect to yesterday's set statement, how many observations, how many variables you get? Three variables. Observations ఎన్ని వస్తాయి? నిన్న చేశాం కదా. Hmm. If you are writing set ds1, ds2 run, so how many observations you get? Three variables, four observations. Correct. So here what happens is this concept how it will work is this is my data set ds3. So whenever you are writing set statement, what it will do, it will copy all the information from ds1 to ds3. Correct. That is how basically set statement works. Correct. So whenever you are writing one more time set statement, whenever you are writing one more time set statement, your second data set values will overwrite first data set values, provided both the data sets has same variables. If both the data sets have same variables, your second data set values will overwrite first data set values. Finally, if you see ds3 is nothing but ds2. Agree, sir? No. Finally, your ds3 is nothing but ds2. So this is how it works. This is how concatenation with multiple set statement, how it will work. So as I told you, this is not important. Why after this much of programming, I'm getting the same data set? Then do you think this is required? No, right? If you want ds2 straight away, I can write set ds2 run, correct? So if you run the program, you can see this is my ds3 dataset. ds3 dataset, what values you get? So you'll get ds2 values. ds2 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? You see ds2 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now you can see here, if I write set ds2 followed by ds1, what values we get? If you write this, what values we get?
DS1 values.
We get ds1 values. Correct? What are ds1 values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct? So if you run the program, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So same example I'm giving for real-time data. So now you can see if I run this program, so DS1 dataset having the variables patient ID, drug name, visit date. DS2 patient ID, drug name, visit date. DS3A you can see, right? Set DS1, DS2. DS3 set DS2, DS1. So if I run the program, your DS3A will contain all DS2 values. So if you see, it is difficult for you to differentiate, right? So I have covered simple examples like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you can easily understand, right? The difference. So the reason I have given that examples. So this example, if you want, you can practice. So you can see, right? So DS2, right? This is DS2, right? DS2 has 101, 103, 101, 104, 101, 102, 13, 14, 12. System got hanged. Give me a minute. System got hanged. So now you see DS3A, it is difficult. 131412. 131412, right? So this way you can see. Right. So both the data sets have same variable, same number of observations. This is how it will work. Your second data set values will override first data set values. Next, both the data sets contains different variables and same number of observations. Different variables. You see, right? You have A, B, C, D here. You have only A, B, C here. So now I'll show you here A, B, C, D, 4 and 7. Okay. Right. Suppose to say I write 4 and 7 here. So in this case, how it will work? So whenever you're writing set DS1, what happens? It will copy all the information from DS1. Whenever you're writing set DS2, it will capture all the information from DS2. Both the data sets have same variables. What it will do? Your second data set values will overwrite first data set values. Correct? So your final output will be 12, 13, 11, 12, 13, 4, 14, 15, 16, 7. If I write in a reverse way, DS3, DS2 and DS1, how it will work? What values you get? Hmm? What variables you'll get? What values you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. Correct? So 1, 2, 3,
Yes,
4, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is how you'll get. Correct. Both data sets contain same variables and different number of observations. Both the data sets. Okay, let me run this example in SAS. So data set DS1 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. Data set DS2 has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So what values you have, you can see. So what values you get in DS3? What
three
values you
four
get?
five 354 uh, 3 4 5 4 6 7 8 and 7
3, 4, 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 7.
and
Correct?
yes sir.
Right. So this is how it works. Right. So what about 3B? Set DS to set DS1. Tell me the values. 1, 2, 3, 4,
4 5
4, 5,
6
6,
7
7. 3, 4, 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 7. DS3B 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you are clear, right? Both the data sets has different variables.
yes
Both the data sets have same variables, different number of observations. Same variables but different number of observations. So whenever both the data sets have same variables, different number of observations, what happens? It will pick minimum number of observations from both the data sets. Your final data set will pick minimum number of observations from both the data sets. Got the point? So now DS3 has the variables ABC, number of observations are 3. Number of observations are 3. Second DS2, it will pick, say whenever both the data sets has same variables, what it will do? It will overwrite. You see, right? And it is picking minimum number of observations, right? So this extra record will be dropped at the back end. This extra record will be dropped at the back end. So finally your DS3 is nothing but DS2, right?
yes sir.
You understood the logic how it is working? You see here, This is the first ABC I have presented here. Okay, and you see right here, your second data set is overwriting first data set values. Whenever your second data set is overwriting first data set values, it has only two records here, right? So these two records will come. So minimum of 3 comma 2. What is 2? Minimum of 3 comma 2. What is the minimum number from 2 comma 3? 2, right? So it will keep two records only. That last third record, it will drop at the back end. Your SAS will drop at the back end. No need to write drop option or no need to write where. So your SAS at the back end default, it will delete that observation. Got the point how it works? So now you see here 789 is there, right? So if you run the program DS3A, how many observations you get into DS3A? What values you get into DS3A? What values you get into DS3A?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So 3A, what values you get? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3B, 1, 2,
1, 2,
3,
3, 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9 కూడా వస్తుందా? 7, 8, 9 you'll get 7, 8, 9 you'll get yes or no?
In 3 you will
7,
get,
8,
sir.
9 ఎందుకు వస్తుంది? మినిమం నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ కదా పిక్ చేసుకునేది. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 వస్తుంది. 7, 8, 9 ఎందుకు వస్తుంది? It picks minimum
Yes.
number of observations, so it will not pick that record. 7, 8, 9 will be dropped at the back end. Agree, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is clear. 3B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That excess record, it will drop at the back end, I told you, right? Both the data sets has different variables and different number of observations. So now you guys tell how it works. So what is the value for DS3A, 3B? DS3A, what value we get? What value we get?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D you have 14 here, 17 here. So first of all, what it will do, here DS1 will take all the variables, all the observations. Correct? DS2, whenever you are writing DS2, both the data sets are same variables, what it will do, it will overwrite. So you see write A, B, C, D, will write A, B, C, D. So if you have excess variable also, it will read. And this is an excess row. Excess row will be automatically deleted at the back end. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What about DS3B? What about DS3B? 1, 2, 3, 14, 4, 5, 6, 17. Right. So if you write, suppose to say if I write a DS2 first. So this is DS2 values, right? After that, if I write DS1 values, DS1 values will override DS2, right? Provided if both the data sets are having same variables, correct? So if you write 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 14, 4, 5, 6, 17. So this excess record, it will drop at the back end. Everybody clear? Put the data set as same variable, same number of observations, different variable, same number of observations, same variables, different number of observations. All these things you have seen, right? So we are done with this concatenation using multiple set statements. Next one, interleaving. As I told you, concatenation with multiple set statements we will not use anywhere in real-time scenarios. This is for your knowledge purpose. Interleaving. Using set statement along with by statement, we call it as interleaving. Using set statement along with by statement, we call it as interleaving. Using set statement along with by statement, we call it as interleaving. Guys, please make a note that from next Monday onwards, you will have domain class as well. From next Monday onwards, you will have domain class as well. Okay, right. So from Monday onwards, you have to attend 2 classes. Please plan accordingly. So use a set statement along with by statement to combine multiple data sets into single data set. So the number of observations in new data set is equal to sum of largest number of observations from original data sets. Sum of largest number of observations from original data sets. Right. So the number of observations in new data set is equal to sum of number of observations from original data sets. The observations in new data set are arranged the values of by variables. The observations in new data set are arranged the values of by variables. Right. Next. So your yesterday's concatenation, this both are one and the same. Okay, your yesterday's concept and today's interleaving is both are one and the same. The order of variables, the order of values yesterday is it will read first ds1 followed by ds2, correct? So here it will arrange all your data with respect to by variables. With respect to by variables. So far we have seen both the data sets as same variable, same number of observations, different variables, same number of observations, different variables, different number of observations. We have seen multiple cases. So here is the note. I want everyone to read this note. You read this note, right? To perform interleaving, both the dataset variables should be same data type, same length, and should be in sorting order. It should be in sorting order, right? Right. Next, we can perform interleaving by using by variable or using index variable. Index variable is using proc equal. Proc equal of going forward we will learn, but now you can see by variable we will learn. So now you can see here so I have a data set DS1. DS1 is having the variables patient ID, drug name, visit date. I have a data set DS2. It also has the same variables patient ID, drug name, visit date. So now if you see here, data DS3, set DS1, DS2 by PID, run. And then by PID, run. So if you run the program, you can see set DS1, DS2, right? Underline this point. Whenever we are writing by statement, whenever we are writing by statement, whenever we are writing by statement, please make sure, whenever we are writing by statement, please make sure, please make sure your input data sets are sorted. Please make sure your input data sets are sorted. Please make sure your input data sets are sorted with respect to by variables. Please make sure your input data sets are sorted with respect to by variables. If your data is not sorted with respect to by variables, your SAS will throw an error. Variable PID is not in ascending order. By variables are not properly sorted on data work.ds1. If your data sets are not sorted, it will throw an error. By variables are not properly sorted on work.ds1. When you see this error, it means that your data is not sorted with respect to by variable. Okay, right. So whenever you are combining data sets using by statement, here you say right at the backend SAS is creating two automatic variables. First dot by variable. By variable is PID, right? First dot PID, last dot PID. It will create whenever you are using by statement, SAS at the backend, it will create two automatic variables, first dot by variable, last dot by variable. So in our case, patient ID is by variable, so first dot PID, last dot PID. So I sorted my data. So proc sort is a procedure which is used to sort your data in SAS. సో ఎక్సెల్లో కూడా మనకు సార్టింగ్ ఉంటుంది తెలుసు కదా, ఎక్సెల్లో కూడా సార్టింగ్ ఉంటుంది తెలుసు కదా, తెలుసా తెలీదా? తెలీదా?
No, sir.
ID name, suppose to say 1A 3C 2B. ఎలా ఉంది suppose to say. So with respect to this variable ID, I wanted to sort. First to select that variable. Is right, sort and filter is there right here. Smallest to largest. Expand the selection. Now 1, 2, 3, you got ABC, you got right? You got it right? So same you will do here using proc sort. Right now you have 101, 102, 101, 102, 101, 103, right? After doing this sorting, you see, we'll get all 101s to one place, 102s to one place. And this is nothing but arranging your data in a systematic manner. So whenever you are running this program, you see, right? DS3 data set. Actually, normal concatenation, what it will do, it will read all DS1 values followed by DS2 values, correct? So here, in this case, it will arrange your data. Suppose we say here you get 101, 101, 101. Normally, second data set values will come later on, but still this 101, it will populate here. Is right? You have 101 4 times, right? This 101 is coming from second data set. So it will arrange all your data in a systematic manner. It will arrange all your data in a systematic manner. If I say 101, no need to check here and there. So in one sequence, I can see all 101 values. Like, if you have in between, so it is very difficult to check where it is, correct? So now you will get all 101 values here, 102 here, 3 here, 4 years. So no matter it is from DS1 or DS2 or DS10, whatever it is. Okay, right. So now this is all the concept. So whenever you are performing this interleaving, SAS at the backend, it will create two automatic variables, first dot ID variable, last dot ID variable. Whenever you are performing interleaving, SAS at the backend, it creates two automatic variables along with raw data variables. Those are first dot variable, last dot variable. So first dot variable, you can see the value is 1. If this is the first observation in your bike, and the value is 0 for all other observations in the bike group. The value is 1 if this is the first observation in your bike group, and the value is 0 if this is a if it is a all other observations. So you see here 101 is one group. Okay, 101 is one group. Okay, right. 101 is one group. Right. So now you see, right, first dot I variable is 1. Okay, you see, right, this is the first dot variable is 1. Correct? So 0, 0, 0. And 102, you see, right, this is 1. So if this is the first observation in your by group, first dot ID variable will get 1. So this is 103 sequence. This is the first observation. So this is the first observation, you see, right? So this has 1. And 104, this is the first. If this is the last observation, you will have 1 for last dot ID variable. If this is the last observation, you get 1. So you understood first dot variable, last dot variable. I want everyone to read this. I want everyone to read this too. First dot variable, last dot variable. Right? So using this first dot variable and last dot variable, we can do a wide variety of analysis. If suppose to say, if I wanted to find what is when all the subjects first and visited my clinic. Okay, to report each subject first visiting information. First visiting information, you see, right? 101 has joined my clinic on 1st Jan, 2nd Jan. 102 also 2nd Jan. 103 also 2nd Jan. 104 also 2nd Jan. Last visiting information, you see, right? If last dot id equal to 1, then I will get last visiting information. So 30 Jan, 20 Jan, 10 Jan, 2nd Jan. Agree, yes or no? So using this first dot id variable, last dot id variable, you can select different types of records. So now, so if I write first dot id is equal to 1, so all the subjects joined my clinic on same day. Suppose to say, what is the last visiting date? The subjects last visited my clinic on 101 came on 30, 102 20, 103 10, 104. So except first and last, I don't want first and last. In between, how many times the subject has visited my clinic? I don't want this record. I don't want this record. I want only these records. So if you want these records, you need to write first dot id equal to 0, last dot id is equal to 0. Ante kada? Right. So if first dot id is equal to 0 and last dot id is equal to 0. So if I run this, except first and last, you will get rest others. So I except first and last, subject number 101 has 2 records, 102 has 1 record. Suppose to say, if you wanted to find people who has visited only once, are they first, are they last? Correct? So if you see here, 104 subject. This is 104 subject. Right. So to report each subject first and last visiting information, we do this. Clear to everyone, yes or no? So with this, we are done with this concatenation. So tomorrow we will learn merge. Tomorrow we will learn merge. So by this weekend I'll finish combining data sets. Next weekend I'll finish functions. 70% syllabus అయిపోయినట్టే. 60-70% syllabus అయిపోయినట్టే functions అయిపోతాయి. In terms of technology, in terms of SAS, not overall. Okay. Right. So rest all our procedures, advanced SAS, I'll cover in upcoming sessions. Okay. Right. Okay. That's all for today, guys. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask. అయిపోతుంది ఇది నెక్స్ట్ రేపటికి అయిపోతుంది ఇది మర్జ్ అవన్నీ అయిపోతాయి రేపు ఎల్లుండికి మర్జ్ అవుతుంది డేట్ అవుతుంది ఈ వారంలో ఇవి అయిపోతాయి నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ వీ కెన్ గో విత్ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఇక్కడ వరకే స్లోగా ఉంటుంది ఫంక్షన్స్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత యూ విల్ ఫీల్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ యునో విత్ పేస్ బికాస్ ఆల్ ది ప్రొసీజర్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ small procedures. In one day there is a chance like we can complete 2 or 3 procedures. Okay, right. So procedures will always have only one syntax, one or two lines of syntax, but we have multiple options. Keeping those options in mind is a challenge in procedures. Okay, right. The base syntax will be same, but multiple options you'll have which option what it will do. So if you are practicing compulsory, then only you'll keep in mind. Otherwise, you tend to forget. You cannot use. Okay, right. Okay, that's all for today, guys. Thank you. Bye.